Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Podcast of Stuff, episode 353. Yeah, I don't know if you heard, but yesterday, you gotta get out of here, man. No King's Day. You gotta get out.
That's very funny.
Okay, I see. I was just like, what happened?
Yes. The joke.
Michael.
I'm surprised you didn't hear that at least once.
Michael. There's low hanging fruit, and then there's
Exactly,
the
that's
you just
why.
did for that joke.
We hang around a lot of black people.
Sure.
I hang around apolitical people, so I don't
All right.
deal
There
with
you
Yuck. Yuck.
And my
Couldn't be
Twitter is
my
just like
workplace.
scroll.
Could not be my workplace. It's a fucking war zone.
They were at the other celebration. That's what you're saying.
So it's very split down the middle, damn near 50-50.
Oh, wow.
There's like everyone, there's like an age, like everyone from the age of like 45 to 47 and up. Yes. And then there's those of us who were on the younger sphere who look to them because they're in the higher positions and just go, I'm choosing not to talk, but if you tell me to use this AI feature again, I'm going to slap you. So that's literally a thing that's happening right now.
I know the feels.
Oh, AI is
in that
dumbing
regard.
down this generation at an unbelievable pace. Grok alone is
wrong.
dumbing these motherfuckers down.
You're so wrong, bro. Have you seen the Yeti videos on TikTok? Bro, AI is gas, as the kids say. AI is gas. It makes the best video content. You don't have to act anymore or be embarrassed. You just got to type something in and it makes a hit video.
Yeti video.
Oh, dude. BG, you got
Not
to
gonna
show
worry
him.
about it.
I know
Not
you
gonna
know.
worry about it. It's fine.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
It's fine.
Oh, you got to.
Hate when ad blocker flashbangs me. We updated your browser. Shut up.
I'm laughing. That's funny.
Eddie
I'm hip. I'm with it.
Yeti AI videos.
Dude, it is the biggest fucking thing right now. It exploded from just the Yeti videos into like Star Wars Stormtrooper videos. I've seen a whole bunch of shit. People are just doing this with this fucking video generator now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even need to look at the videos. I can just see screenshots and I'm good. No, thank
It's-
you.
it's-
want this.
Dude, people are eating it the fuck up.
But why?
Have y'all seen the Talking Baby podcast?
No.
That's
no.
funny. That's very funny. And that's
This
not,
is it.
I'm finding it hard to not be sarcastic. It's funny. I've lost it after talking about bad manga for 6 hours.
The thing is like, this is it. Those videos, those content, that's it. That's the future. If people are wondering what the youth are going to be doing with AI technology, that's it. I have seen more positive energy from our generation and below about that content to
You have to.
genuinely support. See, this is the way AI should be going. This is it. This is what I want more of. Companies are going to see that. That is what's generating all the hype right now online. But it's also not stealing anything, so it's just making up fictional content. But
it's already
then you see
stolen.
things. Then you see copyrighted shit from like Star Wars, and it's just like,
Oh yeah, Disney suing.
Yeah.
dude, the Mid Journey thing is insane.
That's
Good. Get them out of here.
actually that's the other
Wrap
thing I
them up.
I knew I was forgetting something on my list. That was one of the
I mean,
things.
that I think that's one of the things MatPat is going to be pretty hard against, actually, with this whole platform.
Mm-hmm. What'd you look at?
If anything, no, I found the setting to turn off leaderboard participation in our live stream chat. That's annoying. if anything, I hope MatPat really starts putting together documents and such, and maybe even pushing people to be educated so they can introduce bills that deals with things like fair use, because it is very weird that so many of these videos get taken down when they absolutely should be fair use. Now, of course, there's people that are watching entire movies just commentating over them and going, yes, that's fair use. I personally don't agree, but if that's the way they want to see it, that's fine. But there are absolutely videos that are 80% talking, maybe max 20% clips of the show or the movie they're talking about, and they are also getting taken down because the clip was just a little too long, like 45 seconds or something. And that's ridiculous to me.
I mean, it's just a caucus he's starting, right? That's the extent of where it is right now, which is a good start, because do you guys know what a caucus is?
Not exactly.
Dude, I am history, politics, social studies, get me out of there.
Call it a...
But I pulled back.
The
joke would have
essentially
been bend over and I'll show you. That is the joke, and we're moving on.
Positively.
It's a meeting to discuss policy and topics. It's not a political
Actual
platform.
bill.
It's not a structure. A caucus is literally just to dumb it down to its barest bones.
I
just
can't
meeting.
unhear it now, DA. I can't unhear it now. Sorry, Ralph.
I don't care.
Okay.
No, for mobile, yes.
For what?
Doing on mobile.
So I watched 2 AI videos on this account, and I do not want that in our algorithm.
Too late. You're gonna have to scroll for like 6 years to get rid of it now.
Real pain on Ralph's face there. That's just at times.
No,
Existence.
it's not. That's just me at this point. Real pain is other times, like when I have to listen to Mike talk while we do a game night.
I don't know what he means. I don't know what he means. Who could have done that?
This man talked about back shots in full seriousness.
That's understandable.
How could that?
There's a joke.
Conversation
I
even
shot
go?
him in the back.
And then Amber is
What's
like,
the problem?
So you got back shots.
No, I fully said that I was giving you back shots,
Oh,
and then a little bit later, there was something along the
right.
lines of like you were hungry or like needed something like.
Oh yeah, I said I
and
was
then
full.
she's like, "Aren't you
Right.
full from all the back shots?" But like, it was just one of those things where she just like went. You just hear, you're like, what?
Oh yeah, the broken giggle of I want to say this, but I really shouldn't.
There's nothing funnier than making yourself laugh off a dumb joke.
But all right. So before we get into everything else, of course, the weekly reminder: Black Lives Matter. Stop Asian hate. Get your vaccines and boosters. Wear your masks in crowded indoor places if you are sick. Support Ukraine. Support LGBTQ rights. Support body autonomy. Pay your employees what they are worth. Fuck generative AI. Fuck genocide. Fuck kings. The one in England's fine, but you know the concept in general. And be good.
Plural. This one's fine. If there's another one, then we have a problem.
There were 2 before you.
Well, now there's one.
Just scratch off the little end bit of the name and
One left.
All right. So yeah, we we're talked about it briefly this week and didn't get to it now. So unless you were living under a rock yesterday, there was the No Kings protest march. Basically, there was a military parade planned that I think was always planned, but basically was just supposed to be a small affair. Just, you know.
Yep.
More or less just celebration of the military. But
25th 250th year birthday of the Army or something
Army.
like
Yeah.
that.
It's 150th birthday of the Army.
Yes. But it just so happens that the same day is Donald Trump's birthday. So he decided to kind of co-opt it to be like, hey, it's my big birthday bonanza military march. Sponsored by Coinbase.
And you can't go, hey, we're going to protest this because then you're protesting the Army. Because it's actually about the Army. Do you hate our troops?
The best thing to come out of that was the online movement for people to, because the whole thing is to get tickets that you had to reserve them. People were reserving them in mass with mass fucking fake email accounts just to strangle out the attendance. And it worked. It worked.
Not well attended from what I hear.
The video of it being dead silent and the lone tank just click, 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 and that's all you hear are the tank treads and nothing else. And it's just a sad little tank going down the street. Was beautiful. And then the other video that I saw was
infuriating.
And if you look at, usually in a military march, in any form of just like in general, any military march, either for a parade or anything, strict formation, everybody in sync, swaying of the arms in the exact same formation. It's supposed to be...
It's marching in formation.
Yes, marching in formation. What's the word I'm trying to think of?
Unison?
Like kind of just like a very choreographed in terms of everybody is in sync.
That's what marching in formation is. That's what it is.
Very, if you look at the videos, they're just walking.
They didn't give a shit.
Hands in their pockets, some people checking their phones.
They were not in time. They were not. They were not
we walking towards?
They didn't
What's the line for?
Shit. And the funny thing is, these were screened individuals that were taking part. They were given a "Do you support Donald Trump?" quiz prior to being allowed to participate.
Wait, what could it entail other than yes? You pass.
How do you feel about the Mexicans? Circle your face when you hear that word.
Or
He's in. He's in.
It was fully screened.
That is so dumbed down that it's just smiley faces and frowny. Just the Kung flu, or
That's where we are.
And
just green for the smiley, red for the not smiley.
the other video that I saw was again a shot of the military just walking, and then it hard cuts to an ad that is being displayed and announced at the parade, and you just hear, "Thank you to our sponsor, Coinbase." And then it just nothing else. There's nothing about like, hey, what is Coinbase doing to help the Army? Or what can I do to support Coinbase and the Army? It's just sponsored by Coinbase. And that is it.
there are still plenty of refreshments. All the bathrooms are open. No lines. Please salute the tank.
Hey, are those
on janitorial staff.
Hey,
They are not needed.
Are those gender neutral porta potties? No.
This one's blue and this one's pink.
You know which one you need to use. If not, you shouldn't be here.
Drink Coinbase or whatever.
We have plenty of seats available.
I don't know what that product is. Buy the Coinbase merch. He just looking over it like,
Please like and subscribe.
So yeah, most of the videos that I'm seeing.
get free shipping with Coinbase.
What? It's a
Isn't
crypto.
Coinbase the crypto bank?
Yes, it is.
Yes, of course it is, Ralph.
It is.
I'm just guessing.
No, of course it is, Ralph. I think it's one of the ones that hosted the Trump coin and the Melania coin.
It was it was the main sponsor of Hungry Box's weekly Smash Bros tournament.
It's amazing how much people are trying to get America to embrace crypto, and it's like,
Because if we do, the world has to follow. That's the
but
perspective.
what does crypto allow?
It's free-form currency. It can be whatever
It's
you
a
want it to
hard
be.
sell for older people.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna happen. But at the same time, again, the only reason, banks can fail, all that stuff, but even Coinbase can fail, even because we had that with I forgot whichever one the Sam Bankman-Fried was part of. And
It was the one that was
Solana or
supposed to
something
be
like
the most stable one that was always going to be like
Yes.
$1, and then that wasn't
Yes.
$1.
So even this can fail, and a lot of Coinbase is predicated on, and cryptocurrency is predicated on just like the belief in the market, which is stocks. But as opposed to stocks, it is your actual money being up and down based on no goods or services. Like even with stocks, AMC, the movie theater, if they have a bad quarter, you can expect that stock to go down. And if they buy out a cinema chain, you can expect it to go up because they're closer to a monopolization of the entire country in the movie theater market. There's no reason Trump coin should go up or down outside of people buying it and selling it. So coins like make no sense to me in the fact that they don't provide anything but the currency itself.
It's all based on perceived value. That's
yes,
it.
perceived value.
And that is,
but again,
but that's
perceived
it.
value is something that is tangible with something like Amazon, with something like Warner Brothers. Their entertainment has a perceived value. Shipping products has a perceived value that is attached to something. This is strictly smoke and mirrors.
Correct, which is why people keep pushing for it, because it's not tied to anything.
And
If-
it can't be
If the masses put value, if the masses put value in it, then it has value, which is why every one of these people pushes for mass acceptance of their individual currency, because the more perceived value the currency has, the more valuable it is, and then therefore the more functional it is. That is cryptocurrency in a fucking nutshell. It's all in perception. All of it is in perception. How much do you perceive? How much successful do you perceive Amazon to actually be? Do you know how much they make? Do you know how much their margin is? Do you know how well they ship things on the back end? We don't. You believe it because you're told you should believe it. You're shown it through marketing and through the attitude that everyone has towards the company. It's the same thing with this. It's just a different metric.
Because at the end of the day, they have to show revenue, profit margins, that type of thing.
Who says it's true?
Even if it's false, even if they're cooking the books.
That's a perception.
Yeah, no. Again,
doesn't mean it's based on anything real.
Even if they're cooking the books, you see the amount of people using the product.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go outside and see 50 Chrysler cars,
mm-hmm.
you know, no matter what, there are 50 Chrysler cars out there. Now they can say there's 5 million, but you know for a fact there is at least 50 out there. There is 0 out there for coins. There is nothing that can be out there for a coin.
The crypto ad I saw that's promoting it has 30,000 shares. It's got 30,000 supporters. It has value. That's the mentality, bro. That's it. That's everything it's based on.
It's so stupid.
Welcome to humanity, dude. We've been doing this since the dawn of time.
I don't see how NFTs failed if this succeeds.
because that was putting perceived value on a digital product which could not be controlled. NFTs could be saved by anyone on the internet because you couldn't stop it. That's why they lost value.
The image could be saved, but the
Correct.
NFT itself could not.
True, but the value of the NFT went to nothing the moment people were like, "Hey, I saved it. Here it is." No, you can't do that. That's my personal property.
But this is what
it's
I
digital
mean.
property. It's perception. That's it.
It's just stupid.
That's it. It's surreal to think about, but that's the truth of it. Is it is purely a perceptive based system. Everything we work on, everything we live with is.
We're counting on stability of a thing that legitimately cannot be.
It's intangible. Yes, correct. I understand. But that's it. Welcome to humanity, dude. We've been doing this since the dawn of time.
I don't think
this
so.
Is it.
I think there's a perceived value that you can tie into something for the dollar.
The dollar is not backed by the gold standard. It holds no value except for what America can possibly do, which is why the moment Trump does something stupid, the dollar tanks. The moment Trump does something less crazy, the dollar goes back up. It's all perception. We don't know what Trump's shit's going to actually do down the line, but they're just percepting.
But it's perception based on how much commerce there's going to be, how much people are going to buy trades and goods and all of this.
Expectation, perception.
There is nothing to expect. There is nothing to perceive.
Because it might not happen. It's all chance. The belief in the thing drives the value of the thing.
It's chance based on a metric, based on a product.
I'm doing good, meme.
I took a chance on buying AMC stock during COVID because I'm like, eventually theaters are going to open back up.
You took a chance to get down in the business.
I took based on something that is going to happen.
Because you believe in it.
There is nothing that can happen with Sheena Ibu or whatever.
That it could have gone out of business and you'd have gotten no recoup on your investment. You could, it's just a chance. Your perception that it was going to reopen is what drove its inevitable success. That's it. That's all of it.
No, that's not what drove the success. What drove the success is people going back to theaters.
No, your success, your turnaround on the stock investment.
But that's based on the product being delivered at some point.
It could have gone out of business before COVID ended. You didn't know that.
Anything could happen in that case. But
exactly.
But no, if it goes out of business, that's because it could not deliver the product of which I purchased for. So I would just go, hey, the product failed. So yes, I understand why I lost my money. If I lose money in a coin, I can't go, oh, it's because Sheena Ibu had a scandal that turned everything around. It's using child slave labor in camp, and there was a report, and it's the perception. No, it's just a bunch of people sold it, so people are scared, and they're selling more of it.
At the end of the day, it's other stuff has some kind of quantitative information to drive up or down.
It's a different system, but the concept remains the same.
But Bitcoin basically has almost nothing. Any form of digital currency has almost nothing.
Yeah, it's all based on the perception of value.
Because at the end of the day, it's very akin to actual currency. Any world or any country's currency, which at the end of the day, it just is
gold. But the value of gold,
which even
how
then,
much do you think it's worth? It's just a fucking metal.
At the end of the day, even even that is based on scarcity. Correct. That's the whole thing. But that has a quantitative value to then assign a worth. The digital coins are theoretically infinite. The only thing that you are that you're putting worth on computation. That is it.
It's all nonsense. Currency in general is nonsense. Value is nonsense. It's just in functionality and usability.
Nonsense.
We suck. That's fucking true.
Oh yeah, we definitely suck. That's no problem.
People suck. But the other half, though, of the where we started this whole thing, which was the military march, was the No King's Day. So basically, in response to the birthday palooza, millions of people across the country, I'm seeing tentatively 5 million is the current count, all across the country had massive protests in many major cities and abroad, protesting basically that we do not have kings here. We do not have lavish parades celebrating our leaders, like, for ego boosts. We are a country of the people, for the people, by the people, and what have you. And also, the other thing that I'm seeing, no violence. It was just a peaceful day of protest.
So our brothers went to it, and they said it was super peaceful. Then they went to go get some food, and the news was playing what had just happened at the protest they were at. Oh, violence and blah 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 blah. And the people that were serving them were like, "Y'all were just there. We heard it was super violent." And that's because some Trump dude that walked up, just like Trump's white right, blah 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 blah, and he got into it with like 3 or 4 people, and then he left. And some bikers drove around a little bit, and then they left, and that was counted as violence. And that's all people outside of that protest heard.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like truly the media is just showing whatever they want.
Mm-hmm. But in general, I would say a very good display and a very good movement in terms of
Yes.
hopefully where we should be going in the future. But we shall see. Let's see, any other random stuff that isn't nerd related. Oh, I guess go on to I guess like one little thing, just the con that I went to yesterday. They had I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's basically cosplay amateur wrestling.
That's cool.
And I think that is the first wrestling show that I've ever gone to live. Ever. And they did some pretty sick stuff.
Yes, wrestling is a dangerous live stunt performance. Like, I love wrestling.
I think my favorite match that they had was Don Flamingo versus Gambit. Don Flamingo kept his glasses on the entire time.
Crazy.
Gambit was wrestling in the trench coat the entire time. I was like, damn, dude. But Don Flamingo won, and he won it with a like front flip off the top ropes RKO. So he front flipped, got into the position for the lock, and
Yep.
But let's see, the matches
What was the convention?
Animate. It's GalaxyCon, but reduced to mostly just animation. But let's see, they had Gambit versus Don Flamingo. They had Peter B and Miles Morales versus the Shocker and who was the Sandman. Poison Ivy versus Domino, which that one was funny just because how the match ended was she managed to get like her like pheromone kiss onto Domino, and basically like at the end, like, she tells Domino to just lay down, and she does. Gets the pin, and then as the ref's going to raise Poison Ivy's hand, Domino's like, no. And she's like, all like, just like playing the roll up, in terms of just being very infatuated. A 3-way match between Fropey, Shigo, and Rogue. It was just like green costumes, fight, and then there's one more match that I'm forgetting. Oh, Deadpool versus Kraven, and then Star-Lord, and then Sanji, because the whole storyline was Skeletor had been dirty and won the like heavyweight championship from Star-Lord, so they had a tag match at the end. But yeah,
for the whole thing.
It was fun. Legit, like, good stuff. Oh, there's one more. I'm not forgetting it, but they also did that at GalaxyCon, but they also had Chris Jericho's amateur wrestling thing there too, and it was a lot more of an elaborate stage setup. But yeah, obviously a lot of art vendors. I bought way too many art prints again. They actually had that same vendor that had sold your Dragoon thing. I did not see the any Dragoon prints up, though.
Yeah.
Got them while they were hot.
Bury them. It don't matter.
I guess.
These bugs ain't moving.
It's called Fantasy Super Cosplay Wrestling.
Yes. Thank you. And then competed in the Smash tournament there, but I kind of felt bad. I was talking to the TO. Apparently, so GalaxyCon was in December, and that was the last tournament that they had run until yesterday, because the GalaxyCon Corporation's like, no more tournaments. We don't want them anymore. And they had like built up like a whole bunch of stuff in terms of like production and what have you. They had like a stage with like lights and like screens behind them at GalaxyCon. They didn't have a stream, but like it was still like a really nice production. And then it basically, they said, not anymore. And then like, I guess a few days to maybe like a week or two before this one, they're like, hey, tournaments again? And he's like, what the So all he did was Smash, and he only got 10 people just because he had no advertising at all. The only place you could actually even see it, like they didn't even have it like anything on the website. You had to like go into their schedule and see that the tournament was happening at 1. So it's kind of shitty, I feel like, for him, the TO. But yeah, went to a couple other panels and what have you. Peeked my head into the rave. I didn't realize it was a Hell of a Boss / has-been hotel raid, and I was like, I'm good. I'm like, I have 2 friends that'd be super down for this, but not me.
Who?
You and Kelly. At least for the theming. A specifically has-been hotel and Hell of a Boss rave.
You would never see me in that room. No,
Raves are
fucking
fun.
chance. Absolutely not. 0%.
Raves are super
Too
fun.
loud. Too much movement.
That's
Don't
too
get
much.
away from me. Too many people. Get away from me. Get
BG,
away.
recall that those 2 did not dance at all at Kelly's wedding.
Raves are fun.
Absolutely not.
Is there video of the wrestling? No. They might have some stuff like out there in terms of YouTube and what have you. I didn't take any videos.
It sure does look like it.
Okay. But that's basically it for that. I'm trying to think if there's like anything else interesting, but just the wrestling stuff was really cool. All right. So, big news in terms of,
Yes.
actually a good chunk of the guests there, because it was all animation, were voice actors. The SAG-AFTRA game strike is finally, seemingly, over. The strike itself has officially ended. They have a tentative agreement with a lot of the big video game publishing companies, and they are allowed to basically publicly take work, I'll say. Just because a lot of different companies had the interim agreement, so they were able to at least still work. They just couldn't promote anything at all. So it's kind of funny seeing a bunch of these different voice actors. They're like, hey, I was this, and this in these games that came out over the past year.
I was getting hit with a lot of them on Twitter. Just like, didn't get to mention it, but 10 months ago I did this.
Yeah. The strike was trying to get, just in general, better like health insurance, just kind of different pay raises, better rates and what have you. But most importantly, protections against AI. And it's more or less not so much it's like they can't use AI ever. It's that basically companies have to get consent from them. There is rates for using their voice if it is being used to train AI models and what have you. Basically, at the end of the day, the technology was here. The voice actors were wanting rights to basically control how those assets are used and be compensated for it. Seemingly with there's nothing public about the nitty-gritties of the deal just yet. I think that's going to be coming soonish. But seemingly, I mean, it's been a year, quite literally. They've been on strike for a year. And it seems like
And it's crazy because you hear these AI voices, and there's a game out there that use AI voices, and it's like, this is clearly not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Just clearly.
There was like a Korean anime or something that did that. It was like
no.
The
It was
Cube or something.
It was a game from the creator of Genshin Impact, is what you're thinking. It's anime styling, but yeah, he made some kind of other gacha-esque style game with completely AI voice cast.
Super Cube.
They did it for the voices.
Yes.
Super. Just trying some different camera
Go to
setups.
episode 1 where it says all English AI English dub. I don't know if it's on all of them.
Okay.
A Chinese anime series, okay. AI.
Here it is.
Let's see.
There's a karaoke scene. Listen to that.
Do you have the time stamp for it?
8 minutes.
8 minutes, okay. What's that?
Oh, this is horrible. Hey, who watched all of this episode?
Hold on, I'm
Chill,
trying to
boy.
get the I'm gonna at least get the audio up. Don't want to show
Yo,
the
go to
video.
755. Go to 755. That's all I need.
Mic auxiliary. We just need you. Apply. Okay. 755, you said?
755.
Oh no! So hard. I lost again.
Take the punishment. Your turn to answer the question.
Take the punishment.
Shen Yao.
I was looking for a way to
So hard.
organically introduce that because I want that as a alert on our streams and stuff.
Take the punishment. Take the punishment.
Who watched all of this?
Why?
Yo, boy.
Why?
I might-
Is the
that-
question.
I'm gonna tell you right
Take the
now, it's gonna be
punishment.
on both your channel and Twitch. I'm adding it as a sound alert. I'm hitting someone in the eye for some
Take the
damage.
punishment.
Take the punishment.
Yeah.
We'll circle back. I still have it up. Me.
Yeah.
We'll circle back if we need some levity.
Oh.
It's in there. It is in there.
All right, so let's see. Basically, the only other thing that I have in terms of show stuff is I've seen a lot of stuff from the Last of Us 2 showrunners. I'll just say playing defense.
Hey, shut up, stupid. It's fine.
People
People are not happy.
Good,
At
good
all.
debate, bro.
to the point that
Wrong.
let's see. I think I saw this.
All I know is
It's-
one of the runners or creators said that they could have made a vaccine from Ellie, and it's the worst thing you could possibly say.
It was
'Cause-
Neil himself.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of the ambiguity of Joel's choice away from him, and now he is simply the bad guy.
Mhm.
Simply. Because even if you have that little bit of doubt, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work, you can see yourself empathizing with Joel and stuff. But now it's legitimately you doomed humanity.
Definitively.
Definitively.
Based on the showrunner.
Goofy.
Well, I mean, the story of the game, you can't know because it's actually told from the perspective of Joel or Ellie or Abby or whoever you're playing at the time. The show is not the game, so it's an AU.
Nah, shut the
Don't
up.
matter. Don't
Shut
matter. That's
You
the
know what I would
argument.
really like to see? I'm sure there's a book or a comic out there like this where there was a zombie invasion and it was like 15, 20, let's just say 30 something years in the future. They create a vaccine and then we get to see them have to rebuild humanity knowing the monsters they were for those 30 something
There was a movie
years.
like that.
believe.
There was. It was it was a romantic comedy, funny enough.
No ways.
I'm dead serious. I'm forgetting what it is, but the zombie comes back when he meets a girl.
Lovely
then-
Bones?
Oh wait, it was a
No.
TV show. Was it a TV show?
No, it's a movie. It's a movie.
No, there is a love zombie story thing, but World War Z has a lot of different stories,
See,
and I don't know if it
No.
has that.
I did listen
Warm
to the
Bodies.
audiobook for World War Z.
It's called
and-
Warm Bodies.
And it's good. It's a good thing. But it's mostly
Yeah.
just like a retelling of, dang, this is what happened the fall here and the choices I had to make.
Yeah.
I mean, like day-to-day life knowing you were the leader of the cannibal tribe.
Yeah.
Literally, the plot of Warm Bodies is literally what you're describing. The zombie, the dude is aware. Like, they're like, I have no control over my body anymore, and I've eaten people, but this is what I am now. And then he meets this girl, and she brings his heart back through love. And then he becomes human again. And they find out that through love,
I'm not trying to see
Zombie
no
apocalypse.
zombie do this.
dude,
It made
is a
too
watch.
much money for this premise.
It made not enough money for the premise.
It's a 98 minute movie, and I remember watching it being like,
get out.
I was just like, bro, what in the actual fuck is this movie? I forgot why I watched it, but I got a fucking laugh out of it.
I thought I saw something recently for The Last of Us where the showrunner, like, very recently finally went, all right, it's bad. I can't find the article anymore. But yeah, suffice to
Maybe just
say,
Not what I
one.
would have done with it, but you know, whatever.
but
It's just crazy that they ended it right at the Abby switch. So
Mhm.
now you gotta
doesn't-
wait a year or two before you even get any kind of resolution of that. And the audience was already dropping off, so you got to go over here to this person that you may or may not like to figure out what the is going on. Joe's not around. Ellie's not around. It's just her, and you might not like her. So why you think people gonna watch this?
And that's why
Ellie
I feel
wasn't
like
even Ellie, and that's the problem.
I feel like that's a lot of why they showcase Abby's motivation and made her a little bit more sympathetic in the beginning. Because in the game, even though the switch hard happens, you can immediately just keep playing that game. You can, in a weekend, beat the entirety of that game and get the entirety of that story. So, hey, we're going to switch over to Abby. You understand where she's coming from. Now learn a little bit more about her. I think that's why they made that switch. The Ellie stuff is the issue. She
Yeah.
is not the way she should be. She is not acting
She is not Ellie.
correctly. She is not acting like Ellie.
Nope.
She's too
They
erratic.
took
and
away
not in
all
a-
of her motivations. Like, they're
It's
just
not
gone.
even just. Yeah, oh, for sure. It's not. So they took away her motivations in that there are times where it feels like she would just turn back. She doesn't have this like all-consuming thing for vengeance like in the game. It's strictly, hey, I gotta do this. Dang, maybe we
'Cause-
do go. Nah.
When Dina was like, I'm pregnant. In the TV show, she's like, oh, I'm going to be a father. And she's ecstatic about it. In the game, she's like, you're a liability now.
Yes, get the out.
Go home. Like, they
I'm
fucked
going
up.
forward.
They fucked up Tommy. They fucked up Ellie. Like the entire narrative is just
Jesse, I think,
butchered.
was done better.
Jesse was done great. I love Jesse. I was just like, okay, this is a good way to do the character. But the two main ones that needed to be done right, needed for this plot to work with Ellie and Tommy, they weren't. And that fucked everything up. Because you had demon mode Tommy, who was like, fuck it, I'm waging a one-man war for my brother's sake. I'll kill everything. And then Ellie, who's like that one step behind, like almost that same level. And that seeing that tug being there, but watching her go through these steps, that was a great and compelling plot line. It still had its problems, of course. But the fact that she was just like so wishy-washy the entire time killed any amount of tension this season had, because I didn't believe she'd jump in that rickety ass boat with how weak her motivation is and brave that fucking hurricane. She didn't have it. The fire wasn't there. I didn't buy a moment of it.
And then after the torture scene in the game, she's like super shaken up about it. She really feels that. And it's the first real indication that maybe she's not built for this. I'ma just lay a mother out and torture the shit out of them and get out of here.
But in the TV show, she was just like, take the punishment.
How long were you waiting?
I saw my opportunity. If you go back while you're talking, you'll probably see my eyebrows raise a little bit. Just waiting for you to stop for a second.
Unbelievable. But in the TV show, she was a little just take the punishment, because she gets back and it's just like, yeah, that happened. It sucks. This was not a good season.
And
not even the pacing or anything. I really like the black dude, the black leader dude, just throwing the grenade in the van and all. Fuck. I love that shit.
Isaac. Yes,
I loved Isaac and his little buddy, just like, I don't know. And then later on in the when they flash forward, it's just like, no, I'm in this. Kill them all.
Oh, they did the I almost, is it Seraphim? I almost wanted to say Seraphim.
Seraphites or something like that.
Seraphites, yes, there we go. The Seraphite and the wolf, like that they were done really well. Like that whole conflict was built so well. Like you were just like, I want to see what's going on the island. I don't care about Ellie.
Yeah, they're just
fuck that entire plot
piled up.
Like this is an actual war.
Uncle's so mad about the it's super cute.
Watch all of it.
Take the punishment.
Take the punishment.
I might end up watching that episode later.
All right. Last thing before mostly game stuff. So I think there had been like some inklings here and there from Mel Brooks in terms of, hey, maybe it's time to do the quest for more money. And we now
I rolled my eyes so fucking hard.
We now have a hard confirmation. SpaceBalls 2 is happening. Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement to reprise his role as Darth Helmet.
Rolled my eyes so fucking
Did you not like Spaceballs?
Why would anybody want a sequel 30 years
that is
later?
a good movie.
There ain't but 3 of them mobs left alive, so they just like, if we gonna do it now.
No, but here's the thing.
Comfort bullshit.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's good as a solo existence. That's like Scary Movie. That was a good spoof on the.
Scary Movie 2 was where it's at.
Scary
1 was fine. 2 is where it hit its stride.
But 3, 4, 5, nah. I only needed one Cloverfield.
Again, agreed.
I love 10 Cloverfield Lane, but that could have been an entirely different movie.
Which it was.
Yep.
Yeah, and they just tagged Cloverfield on it.
For me, I would agree with you all. If this were like a serious, self-contained film. This movie the Spaceballs movie was always a spoof, an unserious film.
Okay,
And if-
but
yes,
at that
and if-
point,
we know
give
and
me, if this was Spaceballs The Return after 7 sequels, sure.
And if a 98-year-old Mel Brooks just wants to make another dumb spoof movie,
Yeah.
let him do
Why
it.
spoof the Spaceballs? Why not spoof something else? If he just wants to do a dumb
the
spoof.
thing is, if they were doing a Spaceballs spoof movie again, Rick Moranis coming back as Darth Helmet doesn't make sense. Because what are they going to do? You'd hope they would spoof the newer movies, but Vader's not part of it. He's dead.
That and that's the reason. So you can just have him as the voice. He's there for a little bit of time. He's still, as a non-actor for some 30 years, he doesn't have to try as hard. It's a way to get him in there. It's going to be mostly a newer cast with them just popping in. So it's going to be just the sequel trilogy parody with them just popping in and
the
referencing
prequels.
The Force
older
Awakens
stuff.
at Return, they're spoofs enough of themselves as into solo existence. We don't need something to make fun of them. They suck that bad.
You can still make fun of them.
Mike, I would have agreed with you if there was a Spaceball 2 for the prequels, and this was Spaceball 3. This is strictly nostalgia's at an all-time high because everyone's scared of new media, so they got to get their comfort in. Safe comfort, I remember, reference this, it's the guy.
I'm just saying, at 98, I think Mel Brooks, if you could just say, I don't want to fucking do this. But he wanted to do it.
Who's going to say no to a free paycheck where he's probably not expected to do anything?
Oh, he's acting in it. He's coming back as yogurt.
There's a lot of people that say, I don't want to do a thing, and then you drop another 0 on it, and they go, I will do the thing.
You want me to put on this helmet and say I'm Dr. Doom? Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, Doom, your missiles.
Chris Evans said he was done with the MCU, and I was like, maybe there's something still there.
I don't believe any of that. I'm not in the movie. I don't believe a word of that.
Never believe it.
But yeah, we have Rick Moranis coming back.
I do believe for
Scarlet?
the one that plays Wanda. Yeah.
Oh no,
Scarlet Witch. I
sorry.
believe.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah, I believe she's done.
I thought you were talking about Scarlett Johansson.
Oh no.
I think she's done too, because she sued them.
Yeah.
I know she's hard dead. They confirmed that with the whole Hawkeye series. Yeah,
It's
never coming back.
There's alternate universe stuff, but anyways,
Yeah, but her character may come back. She won't. Not that one.
we have Rick Moranis coming back for Spaceballs 2, as well as Bull Pullman, who is Lone Star, and then his son, actual son, Lewis Pullman, is going to play his son in Spaceballs, named Starburst. Dumb name, and I love it. So yeah, I'm one of the schmucks, but I'm looking forward to this.
We
movie.
know you
We know.
are, Mike.
No.
We've accepted this. Don't mention Build King. I will time you out.
All right. So, rest is mostly. Oh, actually, sorry. There is, I guess, another video game tie-in thing. So there have, I guess, been test screenings of the Mortal Kombat 2 movie. They've been happening recently, and they have been seemingly very positive.
Yeah. I did like one writer talking about this is end game level. Bro, you don't need to push it this hard. Just go, it's pretty good, shrug shoulders, and Mubs will go see it.
But there is a release date for it now, right?
I don't know if there's a release date because there's no trailer yet.
MK2 movie. It says 2025.
Yeah, that's it. That's not a release
October
date,
24th.
really.
October 24th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Right before Halloween. That's smart.
Yep.
Because it's going to get that blood and gore crowd, especially since Saw is no longer happening. And I don't think there's another, like, gory movie out around that time.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I miss when you could set your watch by a horror movie franchise happening in October.
So
Paranormal Activity, even though I hated them. You knew what was coming on until the marked ones came out in that January. My God, what a terrible movie!
let's get Saw back going. Tobin is 88 years old.
Somebody bought it. I think it was Blumhouse. So they're ramping it back up.
The Blumhouse is hit or miss.
Everything's.
I would have liked more of what they did with the last one, and it doesn't seem like that. It seems like it.
Dude, the last one was so good.
Wouldn't know.
Crazy bars.
On the horror front, though, in terms of game stuff, so obviously we had all the announcements in terms of Summer Game Fest, but more information has come out over this week. So for RE9, at Summer Games Fest, they had a demo available for a lot of the press to play. And one of the cool features that was shown off was the game actually has an option to be played in either first or third person, with seemingly a recommended mode per segment of the game. At least for the scenario that they were playing, it was saying first person is recommended. So what a lot of people are speculating is that there are going to be some moments, mostly played via Grace, where it's going to be more survival horror, more claustrophobic, more just shitting your pants and not like having a lot of means to defend yourself. And for those segments, it's obviously first person, be in like in the shoes and like experience the horror up front. But then there's probably going to be some other protagonist, a Leon, a Jill, a somebody that is probably going to be
I'm
more
expecting Leon
on the action side of things, where that'll probably say recommended in third person. But you can switch freely between both modes from the menu. It's not like the most intuitive thing in the world, but you can do it in the game. It's not like you have to go back out to the menu to switch things or anything.
We've had instances of RE going from third person to first person and first person to third person with VR and the mode, and I think it was 8
Yes.
that allowed it. And it was always a little jank because it was not built for that. But if they're starting from the ground, building towards that, knowing that both options are going to be available, you would hope that it is fairly seamless.
Mm-hmm. And just like the fact that they are saying like certain sections, one experience might be better than the other as well in game. But yeah, just a lot of people were trying out the demo, which was in the trailer. You saw like a gigantic, horrifying creature like crawling out from the ceiling. Apparently, the scenario is your Grace. You basically have a bunch of random glass bottles and a lighter, and that's it. And you have to solve a bunch of different puzzles while avoiding this gigantic monster to get out of the hospital ward that you're in. And apparently the AI is like way more advanced than anything we've seen previous, like a Mr. X or a Lady D and what have you. One person, I guess, was quoted as, I think it was Eurogamer, where it was like one person was doing the demo and another person was doing an interview outside, and they heard through the walls someone yell, "Shitting hell!" Like through the wall. And he texted me, he's like, "Did you just yell shitting hell?" But seemingly, like, I know one of the things, one of your fears, BG, was it was going to be going towards the RE6 style of like all action based. At the very least,
I never said that.
You said exactly that.
Because all RE6 wasn't all action based. The Leon stuff, it was heavier on the action, but the even the Jake stuff I think was mostly running. But the Leon stuff was real like atmospheric and stuff. It was the Chris stuff that was pure. Hey, mow them down.
But at the very least, like, I wouldn't even say, like, from everything they're describing of this demo, there was nothing like that in RE6 at all.
Okay.
Like, even the atmospheric stuff with Leon wasn't really that creepy. It was mostly like an occasional jump scare here and there. And even then, the jump scares weren't that bad. So at the very least, I think there's going to be a better balance than was in Resident Evil 6, at least from what has been shown and what is being reported. But yeah, some cool stuff from there. There was announced that Bloober Team is remaking Silent Hill 1, going backwards. I'm actually curious about this, just because...
No, it makes sense to do it that way, because 2 is more standalone than 1 and 3.
That
3 is like a direct sequel. It's the same way I felt like they're not going to do Resident Evil 5 remake before they do Code Veronica. Because Veronica 5 is like a direct sequel to Veronica.
I'm actually curious with this remake. One of the things that I've seen online, which it makes sense, is a lot of like what made Silent Hill 1 was the restraints or the constraints, sorry, that they had. I was thinking restriction and constraints, so I said constriction. Or restrictions. Basically, a lot of the design choices were because they had to do it that way because the PS1 wasn't strong enough, which led to a very classic title. When you open that door wide, you got to wonder if they're going to like mess with the feel of it. But the fact that Bloober Team basically hit it out of the park with Silent Hill 2, more than likely they will do just fine with Silent Hill 1. But now that
they
having
need to stick to doing material that's already exists as opposed to their own original, because they suck in that ass. Yes, Konami is trash.
Konami sucks. Having now played the original Silent Hill 1, I'm looking forward to this remake. Hopefully it is good. On the Konami front, the Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Delta. So apparently the multiplayer, they've gone out and said, is not going to be like Metal Gear Online. Seemingly, it's more like
getting hope.
Yeah, it's more like a hide and seek multiplayer in a way, which is, I'm wondering if it's going to be like akin to Assassin's Creed multiplayer, which would be kind of cool.
It definitely.
You're expecting too much.
A boy can dream.
A boy can dream.
You can. Keep dreaming.
I'm shocked all the live service stuff Ubi has wanted. They never tried to make that a standalone title.
I don't think they just know how to do it, to be honest. I don't think they just know how to fix it.
Yeah, that's fair, because it was jank.
Considering
it was fun jank.
But that thing is, you can't make jank. The masses aren't going to expect or accept jank.
I think they'd expect jank from a free to play. If it was even just $30, I think that people would be like,
that's where I'm gonna.
People will be mad. If you don't have to pay for it, they'd be mad.
I'm just gonna say though, even at $30, they can't make Uno work half the time.
No, they cannot.
So I don't trust that.
Monopoly, Monopoly. They have to come up with a whole new version of it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. We have so Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. To absolutely no surprise, the thing sold like hotcakes. 3.5 million units sold in 4 days. And obviously that has gone up since. But what I just kind of laughed just because, there's a lot of speculation and what have you before it came out where it's just like, this new price tag, this is probably going to sway off a lot of consumers and what have you. And then people pulled up articles before the Switch 1 came up and it was like, that price tag is going to sway off consumers coming out. It's like how quickly we forget.
I always thought the price point was good. I thought if tariffs knocked it up $100, it'd be a real problem.
Yeah, which is why they went to the accessory route. But but there's that. They kind of, I say shadow dropped a new game in a way, but it's just because they announced it on their Nintendo news app. And then, it took, no one's like checking that. Like IGN's probably like, oh wait, what's the, oh shit, new game announcement.
They announced it via the Mario alarm clock, so nobody got that announcement.
So there is a spin-off Splatoon game that is coming out for the Switch 2, seemingly single player, like a survival game from it looks like Raft, but Splatoon is from what we saw of the trailer. But that's all you really saw of it. And then there's a new update to Splatoon 3 for the Switch 2, adding a whole bunch of new guns, new map, etc., etc. And then the last thing was there was a in-depth demo of the Xbox ROG Ally. The thing that I was most relieved to hear is that it is using a severely reduced version of Windows that is only for games, which is great. Because anything that uses, like, I think the current ROG Ally has, like, a Linux version, which is basically SteamOS, or a Windows version. And it is a full-fledged Windows version. So on your handheld device, it'll be like, hey, do you want OneNote? It's like, no. I don't want to back up my shit on OneDrive. I just want to play games. So it is, like, removing all those guts. It is purely for games. And then the Xbox app within it is going to aggregate all your libraries. So Steam, Epic Games, all that different stuff. It'll all be in one app, which basically that's all I need to hear in terms of like, okay. And like everybody was like, everything ran good and what have you in terms of just frame rate, performance, etc. No price though. And that's the biggest caveat.
They'll hold that up until as long as possible.
For sure. I was talking to some people at the Anime Con. They're like, yeah, it's going to be like $400. I'm like, it's not going to be cheaper than the Switch 2. I'm just going to throw that out there. It is not going to be cheaper than the Switch 2.
It will be cheaper than the Switch 2. I say it will be. I'm not saying much. I'm saying it will be.
So you think it'll be $400?
The ROG one, people didn't like it because of the price point. I think Microsoft is going to want to get this thing in line and get it in hands.
I can see that.
ROG. There's two different versions too. So I would say one of the versions, sure.
I didn't. Yeah, I just said that there will be a console for this that is in the affordability camp.
Because what I'm seeing right now.
Don't forget. Here's the thing: is that with games for gold, right? Or whatever, Ultimate, whatever the fuck you want to call it, you can just play the games off the cloud at their full quality. You don't have to require technology to be in there that deep. So if they're making some sort of system where it's hybrid processing both off your hardware that's on the console in your hand and your cloud computation that they're going to be running this with, I could easily see them trying to get a marketability-based function at the gate with this at a cheaper cost.
Mm-hmm. My only thing is
it may not run 4K fucking perfect frames.
Well, no, none of the handhelds do. None of the handhelds do.
But that thing is, people are going to want to be like, oh, I want to play like it. It'll be solid. It'll do the job.
Mm-hmm. So
my only with the PS3, it costs to build something like $800 and something. They were taking a bath of like $200-$300 per
because
system.
The console is a loss driver. Because the console's not looking to make money; it's the subscriptions.
It's the subscriptions. It's the software. It's the accessories.
Mm-hmm.
The subscriptions are where they're looking to make their money back. Subscriptions.
Microsoft,
yes.
They want Game Pass to hit that like 200 million people.
Well, that's the thing. This is how you do it. This is it. Game Pass their subscription rate's gonna skyrocket. Because you have full access to Game Pass in your hand. That's it. That's the cheat code. That's it. You're gonna have a monumental amount of subscriptions if your console's affordable. That's it. That's a good business tactic. You'll make killer money.
So the only thing that is like not convincing me is I just looked up the ROG Ally at Best Buy right now.
Oh, the ROG Ally is stupid expensive. I'm not saying it's going to be the ROG
Yeah,
Ally.
he just said that. The first one, the issue with the price point for a lot of people,
Mhm.
and they're gonna probably look to rectify that.
Mhm.
I don't know if they're gonna sell a buttload of subscriptions because I don't know how much the market is out there for people that play games enough to spend $20 a month
Nintendo.
to get their quote unquote money's worth. No,
Nintendo.
Nintendo, you buy a game, let's just say Mario Kart World, and that's just the game you're gonna have forever. But
I'm
for
almost
people to
willing
get
to
their
bet.
money's worth of something like a Game Pass, you're gonna play your big games. But how many of those are gonna come to the service? How many times a year? 3 times a year. So you're spending what, $240 a year to play 3 big games. You're gonna want to play a bunch of small games, and it's gotta feel good.
I think that's going to do this. You're going to be able to play either your games that you want to on the go. You're going to be able to fuck around and do all these things. You can play Apex. You can play all these other games you play every day on it, everywhere you want. I think it's going to be enough of a driver.
We will see.
I feel I think the only basically
If
it
it's done
needs
right, of
it
course.
needs to have a competitive price point, specifically because it is a very oversaturated market. The handheld PC category.
Shockingly oversaturated.
You got ROG itself competing with itself. You got the Steam Deck. There's one more that I think I'm forgetting about. Is it Nvidia has their own?
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, they do.
Unless you're talking about the Shield. I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Handheld PC.
Asus
Yeah,
has one.
Asus, thank
Yep.
you. Lenovo has one. Asus has one. MSI has one.
And
Oh,
Nvidia
there's a
has one as
lot.
well.
There's a lot. Honestly, there's a lot.
Yeah, no, there's a ton.
What
So
sets them apart is service and technology.
yeah,
So if
like
Microsoft is able to put this at a good price point and say, hey, Games with Gold works on this and it's going to work great, play all your favorite fucking games on this live anywhere you want. With, again, it's the Games with Gold thing that you get, or whatever the fuck that pass is. I always forget what it's called. But
Game
like
Pass.
Game Pass.
yeah, that's
They're definitely
that's
gonna
going-
include like
that's it.
3 months with a new purchase
Mhm.
of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
Well,
gonna
the
be-
thing
I
is,
think that- I
right
think that'll
now
be
you
enough.
can't. Right now you can't access that on the other ones, technically. Just because a lot of these things can come with Windows. Windows comes with the Xbox app, which has Game Pass games. Those ones can do it. This is going to be built from the ground up on a streamlined experience.
But those are like $1,000.
correct. That's why I say
what I'm
it's
saying,
all
like-
going to circle back
Yeah,
to price.
the price point. Absolutely, that's it. That's what we said from the start.
Miss the days where portable consoles become small enough to fit in your pocket. I don't know if we're ever going to go back to that. Because everybody is going to want to see their very shiny 3D games as big as possible. The games
I
themselves.
think the next jump will be the VR headsets becoming more mainstream. Whatever
I don't
jump in
think that
technology we
ever-
make.
I don't
I
think
think
that
when-
happens in the
I
next 2 generations.
Oh, they do.
I'd
They
say AR more likely than VR. To where,
That's
at
fair.
least if
That's
from
fair.
a
No, that's fair.
from a portable perspective,
Yeah.
just so you can
That's
still
fair.
see your surroundings, but you have your screen right here.
Well, I mean, with the Apple glasses or whatever that they keep putting out, it's
They
already
got
there.
cooked on that.
Oh,
though.
absolutely.
They
They did, but
so
the technology's there.
They were the only ones that did it
fucking
though.
charge you because they try to charge you to fucking arm and a leg because Apple just thinks it's an Apple product. We can charge you whatever we want. I guarantee you the cost of production on that thing is maybe like $300, and they were trying to charge you fucking like $5,000 to make a fucking X 1,000% markup. I'm guaranteeing you, if they had released it at an actual decent price point, even like $1,000, $2,000, people would have bought it a mess.
I saw one person with one, and it was
Because it's so expensive.
It's just one
No
of the
one can afford that right now.
It was one of the funniest things too, of just seeing a guy stand there with this big glass thing on his face, going, just in the middle of a hallway, just.
It's stupid.
Because it uses
Genuinely
hand
stupid.
gestures to like do the all the different motions. What are you looking at? I see.
Atelier stuff. Don't worry
Oh.
about me.
Okay. But yeah, like that's like basically in terms of a portable game, having a high fidelity screen while also being able to maintain your surroundings. That's the one way I see it actually working. He starts doing a jerking motion. What are you talking about? I don't understand what you're... But with that, unless you guys have anything else, we can go on to the facts.
Disney suing in Mid Journey.
Oh, yeah.
Get this AI out of here.
Boy. It was there like a 32 page or it was like 30 something page document in terms of their actual lawsuit, where they had to describe Shrek as an entity. It's very
It should have just been big red letters. You stealing? Like, and the judge should have went, "Yep, get him out of here."
But yeah, it goes very in depth in terms of like the stuff that they did, how they used the AI assets of the stolen characters and properties in their advertisements. The fact that Midjourney was like, "We don't care." Like all this press stuff, it's like, we know we're stealing and we don't care.
Yeah, all these people, like all these AI places, just like we can't do this if we're not stealing.
And just basically,
why can't I use that excuse?
Yeah. Yeah. But you have two of the biggest media corporations with infinite lawyer budget to go after
Literally the infinite lawyer budget.
this essentially a tech startup who basically probably thought, oh, we'll make this cool technology and all the big companies will just want to invest. Nope. That did not happen. So that, and yeah, it's a lot. I saw a lot of the let them fight memes, which is basically just
absolutely.
like, it's like, I don't really care for the corporations of Disney or Universal, but hey, fuck AI. So let's just let them fight.
I hope they win.
Yes.
Because it's literally just thievery. And this isn't like, I hope they win again. I hope Pokemon Company wins against Pal's World. No, they should not win that. They are literally throwing at the wall, hoping something sticks so they can sue them for something. That's complete nonsense. Retroactive patent suing is nonsense. But you stole the copyrighted works of these things and then are trying to utilize it. This was an issue PlayStation had with Dreams, where at one point they were like, we're going to allow people to sell the games they make in Dreams. But they had no way to get around the copyright stuff because people were just building Sonic Battle in Dreams. And it's like, how do you sell this as PlayStation? So they're just like, I guess we can't sell them, and Dreams just kind of went away. And Roblox is really doing the same stuff, but like, it's done. I guess it's done in a way where it's just like we're allowing the users to do it. We just provide the tools. Whatever they create, they just create.
I think it's what they're selling is the currency. What you're buying is the in-game currency. You aren't buying the game, you're buying the currency, which you then use to get stuff in the within Roblox. I think that's how they get around it.
But that's very much the
it's scummy. It is immensely scummy.
Different than downloading it.
But you buy the games with the in-game currency meme.
Yes. They don't sell the game, they sell the currency and provide the marketplace to which to buy things with that currency.
Yep. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. I have never touched Roblox, so and I have only see it very passingly in streamer like videos and what have you.
All I know is it's like slave driving to there's like we're gonna have video game factories where we're gonna have a bunch of 13-year-olds build games in Roblox and pay them like
But what?
We're gonna the game and make the 13-year-olds pay for it.
yeah.
You see, it's the Trump thing. It's all Trump.
It's all connected.
Oh, I guess real quick before we get to facts. How was the manga? I meant to ask that.
There were a handful that were bangers to the point
Out bangers.
to the point where I'm like, I don't know what the Japanese people want because this feels like something that should succeed, and it just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just strictly timing. You're too close to something that's kind of similar. The market is just not looking for what you're trying to provide with this manga right now. If you were 5 years earlier or 5 years later, maybe they would have been more receptive. Who knows? Who cares? All I know is the bangers should have kept going instead of the trash. And there's so many of these canceled manga that went way longer than they should have been because they were trash. When the good ones get a volume and a half before it's like, get out of here.
Very enlightening to see all of them and
Yes.
how people handle cancellations and things like that. Very, very interesting to see those.
Mm-hmm.
There were also some of the worst things I've read.
Oh, no.
Build
No
King
shipping
is a horrible manga. Astro Royale is a horrible manga.
Icehead Gill. Terrible.
Horrible. And yet, I feel like so many of these, if they were given a pretty anime, they would have gotten their traction. And that's what scared me about Astro Royale, because I hated that manga from like chapter 2. And it went to chapter 50, and I was scared that by chapter 32, they'd announce the anime, the first season of the anime, a 13-episode season, and it'd be like, hey, Astro Royale! And then people would watch it, and they'd go, I love this, and they buy the volume, and it would be able to go to its actual conclusion instead of the, let's wrap this up we got. Gotta do it again in a year or two? Do y'all want because reasons or not?
It was an endeavor.
Dude, it was legitimately like a month and a half of reading. And now we gotta do Naruto, like.
All right, I'll have to go back and watch the stream.
Watch it during a drive.
See how Green Greens did. I don't have any strong opinions on it. It's just the one that I kind of read.
You'll get a hey, this looks interesting, and a lot of them are like 20 chapters. It's worth going, hey, I'll read those 20 chapters.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Other ones, avoid like the plague.
Mr. Factman, what you got?
It was going to be wrestling facts, but there aren't any good ones.
Ah.
It was invented by the Olympians and stuff
The
like
average age of death for wrestlers is 42.
It was lame. And then I forgot what else we talked about, so it's normal facts.
All right.
Crazy. No, you could have did a
50.
parade or...
What do you think is going to happen with parades? There's going to be some Trumpian pride parades are evil. Oh, no.
We just had a dude that get killed from a dog falling out of the balcony, walking into the street, getting hit by a truck trying to help. anything, and you're talking about there's nothing with parades?
I don't think there'd be
Okay.
cable parades for next time.
I
Talk
will-
about parades.
I will talk about parades next time. 2.
How many?
6.
It's
50.
50. 2, 6.
8.
2, 6, 8.
Oh, thank you for going early.
3, 2, 3, 6, 8.
I'm gonna split the difference and go 4.
Hey, Anko
Cyber just said 4.
Oh, look at that. The most recorded deaths by a single elephant was 27. Between the years of 2004 and 2006, the elephant named Osama bin Laden set the record.
All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in to this week's podcast.
Went on a rampage for 2
stuff.
years.
We're done.
It wasn't
here.
even like
done
1994
here.
to 2006. In 2 years, he just turned it on.
And Osama did it again!
Bin Laden!
This is the worst thing a bin Laden has ever done!
What year is this? Ladies and gentlemen, they said we got him.
Why did they name him that?
That's what I want to know. They just like looked at that elephant. They're like, you know what?
You said 2004 and 6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is after 9/11,
Mm-hmm.
and this is roughly around the time we knew who it was. You know, we were going after him. So they went, yeah, I guess we're gonna name him after the person that killed a bunch of Americans.
That's
Get that elephant before he gets into the click cave.
crazy.
We'll never find him.
That is
Jesus fucking Christ.
he's not here.
That?
That is
Clearly.
insanity.
That's so stupid.
Okay.
He has been compromised to a permanent end.
All right. So, terms of streams for the next week. The magic cards have arrived. I will be doing my box opening stream some point this week. I'm still working on the camera setup. It's a little challenging. I have some like gear coming in to try and get one of the cameras to be able to like be pointed downward just so I can show the cards.
It would be the funniest thing if he got like a $500,000 card and he's just shaking and he's just getting his dew fingers all over it and ruins it.
It's dude.
He sends it up for greatness like there's green thumbprints all over this bit. It's worthless.
He drops it and the Roomba sucks it up.
You think I allow that thing in here? No.
Nobody
I'll have card protectors for sure.
The funniest.
I have hard sleeves here. I need to get some soft sleeves.
Isn't there like a vent under your desk, Mike?
Oh, dude.
what? Like an AC vent, but that blows outward and it's below the desk. There's no wind that gets up on the desk.
No, he's saying the car goes right in there.
Oh, it's not.
They all float down here.
It's not fitting in there.
I thought you were going to say it'd be hilarious if, without even seeing it, his setup just ended up like DSPs. Just to the side.
It's a horrible setup.
But yeah, I have some stuff where I'll have one camera facing down. This camera's still obviously facing this way.
If you get that running, eventually we should, whenever we go over there, we should do that for like a Monopoly or something.
Well, that's on this desk.
Oh,
Only.
I mean, like, you can't probably. Can't
I can
retrofit it to
do something
downstairs.
similar that I did for when I was doing during the pandemic. I literally had a tripod on that big table downstairs when I was playing Magic with my buddies when we were all in lockdown. That I could do.
Yeah, we need to
That's
do something
simpler.
like that.
That's simpler. But this is just the configuration on this deck is not I can't put a full ass tripod on here.
It's not conducive to tripod activity.
Yes. But so we have that. More than likely starting BioShock finally. Just some plans and stuff for the last couple weeks and getting in the way of that. Something on Friday, and then there should be one more podcast next week. It's the following weekend. I'll be out of town. But with that, should be. But with that, we got to get out of here. Ralph has plans. Holding him up long enough. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this episode of the Podcast of Stuff. We will see you, supposedly, next week.
Later.
Bye-bye.